this one, sa inyong policy. Nakiusap ako. Sabi ko, o lalaki sa lalaki, sumunod tayo, gawin natin yung dry run. Lahat sila mo sa akin. Ang paglabas ng injunction, tinanong ako ng media, siya, paano yung dry run nyo? Sabi ko, wala akong pinipilit. Kasi makukontempt na ako eh. Sabi ko, wala akong pinipilit. Ang pinangahawakan ko, yung usapang lalaki namin.
Ba't siguro usapang babae para pinipilit ka?
So, dumating ang Wednesday. Di ang galing. Lahat na kumuha sa akin, nawala. No? Siguro may tatlo, dalawa. Pagdating ng Thursday, tinanong ako ng media kung pahihinto ko raw yung dry run. Sabi ko, wala akong papahinto kasi wala kami pinago dahil bawal sa korte. So sinabi ko, kayo, kung mag-voluntaryo kayo dumaan dyan, thank you. Ayaw nyo dumaan, okay lang. Kasi kami injunction.
Ganito, no, yung sa Thursday, siguro kasi nag-file, sayang wala na si Congressman Garfield dito eh. Baka naman pwede, at bayo muna, baka naman pwede mag-usap kayo at kung magkasundo sa isang particular scheme, kunyari nga yung madaling araw, yung pag-ganon, baka naman pwedeng pag-usapan din yung kaso na para magkaroon.
Ma'am, kaya lang ang nag-file operators eh. Hindi sila eh. Hindi yung mga congressmen
Paano
natin
kayo? Pwede ba ninyong ayusin yan kung magkaroon ng oras, imbis na total ba? Meron din kasing isang facet nito, yung tatanggalin talaga yung mga terminals doon sa EDSA eh. No?
Well, I think that's the direction already of the OTR. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ano ba gusto? We have 97 terminals in Metro Manila. Ano ba gusto natin? Bawat operator na may pera, bibili ng lupa gagawin terminal. Na parang kabuti kahit saan meron.
I understand also. But Senator Zubiri, you have a additional
We need to
question.
start somewhere.
I agree with the opposition views at Jojo. Ma'am, that we have to start somewhere. Kaya yung nakita po natin sa television ng isang araw, yung Carmageddon sa EDSA, although you were trying to do something new, pero unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way we wanted it to be. But dapat out of the box solutions na, and personally, I feel itong provincial terminals outside of Metro Manila would have been one of the solutions. Unfortunately, by TRO, nagpahal po sila sa korte. Sana mapabilis na lang yung TRO at ma-discuss po yung merits of the case kaagad para sa ganun, may mailabas po tayo na options para sa ating mga kababayan. Yung sa colorum issue, Madam Chair, it's an issue of lack of enforcement also. Because if it's colorum, mahuhuli, dapat tuliin. Huwag tayo maawa at mahiya dahil yun nga, nagdadagdag po ng sasakyan kung saan dapat hindi madagdagan na. On the lack of action, also, Madam Chair, I just want to raise this. Nandito yung MMDA at tama sa wala yung chairman po. I was listening to you in the radio earlier. Unfortunately, I had to go to the POC as part of the General Assembly ng Sports. But yung lack of action for proposed projects, I don't know if you can recall, Madam Chair, and many of you were here, Senator Nancy, Senator Frank, Senator Sherwin, Senator Joel. The first speech I gave was about inclusive mobility. That was on August 2016. It's been 3 years na po. And I know Senator Joel mentioned it as well as Senator Sherwin kanina. Yung elevated, when you say inclusive mobility po, yun yung elevated walkways all around Metro Manila. Alam ko may budget po kayo ng 400 million, hindi ko po alam ano nangyari. Nasa budget po yan last year under the DOT. But alam mo na pansin ko sa news, nung nagkaroon po ng konting problema doon sa bus lane, lahat ng pasahero, which makes sense, because what will you do in the bus for 4 hours? Maglakad ka na lang, mas mabilis pa. Ay naglakad. Pero wala po silang madadaanan na area sa EDSA para ganun karaming tao maglalakad. On an elevated walkway, and I show you these pictures because this was part of my speech, gentlemen, ladies. Alam mo, sa Shanghai, galing ako ng Shanghai, galing ako ng Singapore, they put already elevated walkways in high traffic areas, even in Thailand, in Bangkok. Itong mga high level traffic areas, nilalagyan ng elevated walkway para may option po yung ating mga kababayan. Doon nga sa Singapore and Shanghai, gumagamit na sila ng electric moped sa taas, mabilis at bisikleta sa taas. May bike lane na designated para sa kanila at may walking lane. You know, EDSA is only about 22 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. On a bike, that's nothing. On an electric moped, that is nothing po. You can go, this will help ease. Ako po, kung meron po elevated walkway to the Senate from Makati, I'll take it. I'll take it. And yan na lang gagamitin ko. It's probably only about 5 kilometers from Makati. And it's not a bad ride. I mean, it's not a bad, dire-diretso lang po yan. Magbisikleta ka. Di ba? Parang si Y. Kurat sa Mora nung araw, nagbibisikleta. Then, pumigil ka rin kasi baka mabanggasan ng bus dun sa Commonwealth. Pero yung po punto ko, this was fully supported by the MMDA in 2016. And I believe there was a budget of 2017 of 400 million. Then you have options of clearing up Pasig. I do not know why we never use Pasig. In many large cities na pinupuntahan natin, for example, Singapore, galing po ako dyan kahapon with my daughter, yung 3 keys, they have keys, it's quays, but it's keys they call it. They use it for mobility. Talagang in and out of the city. And ginagamit talaga siya. Sa atin, wala po tayong ganung mode of transportation sa Pasig. And Pasig can clearly decongest EDSA. And then the third possible solution is the opening really of the connector road of SMC, which will connect North and South Expressway, and later on by the MPP group, which will also have the second connector road. Kasi hindi na po dadaan yung napakaraming bus na galing Norte papunta ng South or South papunta ng Norte, hindi na po dadaan ng EDSA. So these are just 3 simple questions, Madam Chair. 3 simple points. Number 1, Madam Chair, I know this hearing was designed for the provincial bus terminals, but I do not know when I'll be able to have a chance to ask this, Madam Chair. This is for lightening up the traffic in EDSA. I think these are 3 very important points. 1 is, when will we start building elevated walkways on EDSA? Number 2, when can we start using Pasig River? I know Pasig River Rehabilitation Commission, ang ganda-ganda ng presentation nila. Hanggang ngayon, presentation pa rin. Yung pangatlo, yung connector roads, nandito po sila. Maybe we can ask them when we'll open it because Christmas is coming up. Ang mapapakinggan lang po natin ay si Joe Marichan for 5 hours in the car sa kanya mga Christmas carols para hindi uminit ang ulo natin. I think we need to know when they're planning to open these connector roads. So with that, Madam Chair, may I ask the first part on the elevated walkways? I believe Yusek De Leon is raising his hand.
Ma'am, for the elevated walkways, we call it greenways. We already have that plan, but unfortunately, wala siyang budget niyan for the NEP. So if the House and the Senate can help us fund that project, it will really greatly help mobility options of our commuters, specifically for our MRT stations. It really lacks accessibility infrastructure. Nakita niyo yung banda sa ADB, yung dadaanan ng tao, halos ganun ang kanipis. So if we can help fund this project.
Kasi bago ma-fund, may estimate na ba kayo? Meron pa kayo plano?
Yeah.
Magkano?
For the entire Metro Manila, we will need around 7 billion pesos from Quezon City all the way to Parañaque. We will have around 100 kilometers of greenways all over the country, all over Metro Manila.
Okay, thank you. Next.
With the support, Madam Chair, of our colleagues, as an institutional amendment, maybe we can do that. Make it a legacy of this administration na magkaroon na talaga ng walkways, elevated walkways. And then on the second part on Pasig, wala talaga tayong plano gamitin ng Pasig. At saka hindi yung maliliit po ng mga baroto, yung mga maliliit na nakikita namin sa Iloilo yan, mga gaket, yung maliliit na small boats. Baka maganda siguro yung katulad sa Europe na covered, the air conditioned sa loob na malalaki, magagamit para bus.
Sir, sa Pasig naman, Pasig River, yung sa ferry, nag-alam ko sir, kabibid lang noong December ng FS. Ang nag-timon kasi dyan sir, ang DBM and DPWH and kami, and DOTR. So talagang may plano po sila, no? I-improve yan. Di ba? Nabid na yung FS noong December, kabibid lang ata nila. So ang feasibility study pa. We're waiting for it, hindi mo kami pwedeng kumalaw ng
Alam mo, hindi na kailangan ng feasibility study yan, Sir Yusek.
Yes, sir.
Biyahe mo na lang sila sa abroad para makita nila. Singapore lang, lapit lang. Para makita lang. It's a clear present program in many major cities.
Yes.
They use the waterways. Walang traffic doon.
Actually, sir, ang plano nga namin noong una, nung pag kami, sa MMD, kasi kami may awak ng ferry, sa amin lahat nung PM yan eh. We have 20 plus peers, no? Then we asked the LGU kung saan nila gusto ilagay yung pier kasi mas kabisado nila yung LGU nila, no? Sabi ko nga, na proposal ko, baka pwede, yung mga ferry, parang bus na lang. So kung wala ng prangkisa sa marina, tapos magmumuwa lang kami na pwedeng daanan yung mga pier namin. Through that, open ng competition, may improve nila yung service.
Limited number lang po kasi
Yes.
baka naman magka-EDSA din yung
Yes, yes.
Pasig River.
Tama,
At baka
sir.
magkabungguan pa sila doon.
Pero
Eh
I
doon
think-
mahirap mag-swimming dahil pag tumalong ka sa Pasig River, sigurado magkaka-cholera ka eh.
Pero kasama po raw sa DBM ngayon ng study, kinuha po nila yung yung pag-aaral.
You can privatize it. That's absolutely correct. Once
Yes,
you
sir.
get the terminals going, kayo maghahawak ng terminals.
Yes.
As long as hindi lang again magkakaroon ng overcrowding dun sa Pasig. Meron lang yatang no passing area sa Malacanang.
Meron po mabagal lang po dapat. Best team,
Sa Malacanang.
yung sa may Malacanang.
On the third issue, ayos na.
Our Senate Majority Leader. If I remember it correctly, may nag-operate na yan eh,
Yes.
ng Pasig Ferry. Hindi, malaki yun ah. Ito yun. I think during the time of President Serra.
No, MMDA ran it, that's why it
Yes,
like,
yes.
Hindi
Yes,
ba
sir.
aircon yung inoperate nyo? Aircon yun, di ba?
Not us. Meron pong atang pumasok dati. Kaya nga ma'am, yun yung inaayos nga namin ngayon. Right now, apat lang
Yun na nga yung Sec. Joshua. The mere fact na may pumasok na dati, bakit hindi na lang natin i-improve yun? Para hindi na tayo maipit dun sa feasibility study. Because meron na yan. In fact, may mga existing terminals na. For a fact, meron kami sa Makati.
Yes.
Sa may Intramuros, meron din ata. Bakit hindi na lang natin i-improve yun para hindi na tayo aaksa yung oras natin sa feasibility study?
Tama.
Meron na eh.
Tapos ano siguro, Yusek, no? With the permission of my two colleagues, yung ruta na yun, pwede pang turista yan eh. Because like Senator Drilon, who's I am a fan of his move to protect heritage sites in Iloilo. Ang dami nating heritage sites sa Pasig River. The post office alone, pag inilawan mo yan sa gabi, napakaganda. Yung sa Intramuros, napakaganda. You know, we could even have a river cruise at night dito sa Manila. Napakasayang talaga. And I'm glad Isko is there. Isko Moreno is forward-thinking. He wants to protect the heritage sites. We can make that part of the route. There could be a tourist type na facility or tour dito sa mga areas na ito. And it could be part of the mobility, inclusive mobility. Doon na lang siguro sa mahaba-haba na yung katanungan ko. Yung pangatlong point ko, this time I think I will address it to the SLEX and SMC Tollways. When will the vaulted connector road be open? Meron na po akong sagot, sabi ni Secretary Tugali, but I'm not allowed to say it. Because he promised me not to say it. Sila na muna siguro.
Madam Chair, yung north-south connector namin from Buendia to Balintawak is pursued relentlessly, and as a matter of fact, medyo kami partial opening, temporary partial opening from Buendia to Plaza Dilao. And there is significant increase in traffic already using that. I think about 17,000 vehicles per day on a very limited operational period lang muna, because we don't have all the facilities yet. Now, we expect that the full opening of Buendia to Plaza Dilao probably before the year ends. By December, we will probably be opening the entire stretch from Buendia to Plaza Dilao. And then by the first semester of next year, we hope to complete the entire segment 3 of the Skyway all the way to Balintawak. And we will have of course yung mga entry and exit points, several entry and exit points in Quezon City. Of course, the buses will be allowed to use it.
I call him Secretary because he used to be Secretary of the DPWH, good friend of ours. So, Sec Manny, there is a possibility by the end of the year or first quarter na ang ating mga kababayan na nakikinig po na yun, hindi na po kailangan dumaan ng EDSA. For example, exit sila ng Makati Skyway, papunta ng Balintawak para pumasok sa North Expressway. Tama po yun, sir.
Opo. Or they can use actually our entry points at dito po sa may Quezon Avenue.
hindi po kayang abutin bago mag-SEA Games. Kasi ang dami pong venue nandun sa Clark eh. Halos kalahati yata ng events na sa Clark at sa Bulacan, sa Philippine Arena malapit. Hindi pa ba kaya, sir?
The prayer best po, our timetable namin is actually, best friend namin is anywhere between first quarter or second quarter of next year. And ang projection ho namin kasi dito, Madam Chair, is actually, if we are able to complete and open the entire stage 3 of this skyway, we're expecting that about 30% of EDSA traffic will go there.
That's fantastic news, Madam Chair.
24 hours ba yung shifting ninyo doon ng trabaho?
Yes, 24 hours.
Madam Chair, paano yung sa grupo ng MVP? I know Metro Pacific also is trying to put the second connector road. Meron bang taga-MVP group dito? Wala ata. And maybe that could be just for another hearing. And to close my line, my train of thought, Madam Chair, is basically yung provincial bus companies or the provincial terminals sa USEC, anong plano ba dyan? Will it be a PPP or gobyerno magtatayo ng mga terminals na yan?
Yung permanent po, I think, DOTR po makapag-sabi niyan. Pero yung sabing interim, yun lang po yung identify natin sa kanya.
DOTR, sir, is it private or public?
Sir, yung ating tagi, it's the government who owns the land, and the concession agreement was signed during the last administration. Private sector will build and operate the terminal. Yan po yung nasa tagi. For the North Luzon Expressway, yun po yung ilalagay natin sa Bukawi area, dun sa Ciudad de Victoria area. It's an unsolicited proposal. Currently, it's being discussed in NEDA for the final approval of that unsolicited proposal project.
I came across that project, the private-public partnership. Maganda yun, kasi wala yata kayong gastos dito sa Ciudad de Victoria, sa Philippine Arena. I believe they're trying to build a world-class facility there. Magbubukas na yata yung ating before the SEA Games, yung interchange. I'm concerned about that because our SEA Games venues are also there. The opening of SEA Games will be there. Bukas na ba yan by the time?
The promise of the DPWH is they will finish the interconnection yung sa tawid po ng Bukawi by end of October. So this coming week, mag-launch na sila ng mga theaters dun sa ibabaw ng ginagawang flyover na yan.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. This is very enlightening, their answers on these issues.
I would like to hear also later on from Alt Mobility and the UP, but Senator Nancy has, or would you like?
Madam Chair, babalikan ko lang yung tanong ko kanina. If we have a long-term master plan. Kasi katulad ng kahon na nabanggit nyo kanina, di ba? Dun sa FTI, nagka-problema tayo. Hindi matuloy-tuloy yung project kasi may problema, hindi magawa yung rampa dahil sa right-of-way. Eh, kung meron tayong master plan, dapat siguro nabili na yung, or nagastusan na yung pang-road right-of-way. But lumalabas na parang wala talaga tayong plano. So, I don't know which agency ang dapat sumagot. Maybe si Yusek De Leon would know.
Actually, Senator Nancy, Yusek De Leon, siguro dapat meron pang isa pang pagdinig kung saan si Secretary Tugade talaga ang mag-present. Kasi lahat yan, harmonized dapat. Rail, road, kung ano man, hindi yung parang magpapadala lang ng tingi-tingi na representative. So be ready with your presentation for your short-term, mid-term, and long-term solutions for traffic.
Madam Chair, siguro baka maganda rin na idagdag na natin si Secretary Mark Villar or maybe somebody from DPWH para rin ano nila yung side naman ng DPWH. Siguro idagdag ko lang sir kasi I was asking kanina si Mayor Rex kung may nag-present na pa sa kanila ng plano na kunwari 10 years from now, ito yung mga dadaanan na kalsada na gagawin or rail project. And apparently, dun sa council, wala pang mga ganong klaseng presentation. Katulad niya itong elevated walkway. Di ba dapat ngayon pa lang, kinakausap niya na yung mga LGUs na dadaanan nito. I think hanggang ngayon, baka hindi ngayon lang nila narinig na meron palang ganitong proposal ang DOTR. Yun lang, Madam Chair.
Alam niyo kasi ganito yan, no? Yung mga solusyon dun sa traffic na sabi nga 30% hindi dadaan ng EDSA, NLEX, SLEX connector road, LRT1 extension, bus terminals ng FPI pati dun sa north. Yun lang makikita mo na makakagaan kahit paano sa traffic, di ba? Hindi kailangan ng emergency powers para dyan. Kasi pag sinabi ninyo na may emergency powers, anong gusto niyo? Walang bidding? Yun ba yun? O pangalawa, anong gusto ninyo? Hindi ninyo makakwestiyon ng korte? Hindi po yan matatanggal sa emergency powers. Papasok pa rin ang korte sapagkat sa konstitusyon natin yan separation of powers. Hindi talaga pwedeng mailinig. So, kung meron kayong kailangan maayos at specific kung anong plano ninyo. Para kung makakatulong kami, katulad niyan, palalawigin ang kapangyarihan ng MMDA, bakit hindi? Diba? So, siguro, mawalang galang sa kanilang napaka-busy schedule. Pero yung ating mga kalihim at yung ating chairman, siguro naman sa susunod ay makakadalo dito. Sapagkat ito lang ang venue na naririnig ng tao kung ano ba talagang plano ninyo. Dahil dun sa mga hearing ninyong maliliit na ganon, hindi naman nasisiwalang lahat ng direksyon na pinatutunguhan natin. Okay, out mobility.
Madam Chair, siguro isang tanong na lang kay Yusek Garcia. Since na TRO nga ho itong provincial bus na plano nyo, what is the next plan?
Okay, first, dun po sa provincial bus, I'm very confident na pinag-MR po kami, mag-grant yan. No? Kasi nagtataka kami, hindi pa kami nakapag-present ng ebidensya, may injunctions kagad. So we're really hoping and praying na yung legal team namin kakayanin namin yan. No? So while waiting for that, talagang nakatali po yung kamay namin tungkol sa mga provincial bus plan na yan. What we're doing is really every day to clear all alternate routes. No? Kailangan namin linisin yan para madaanan natin. So, yun pa lang sa ngayon. No? And then of course, yung mga long-term, DOTR and DPWH po makakasagot yan. Ang everyday po talaga enforcement na kasi kami, no? Talagang ultimong pagtataas lang ng traffic fine, dumadaan kami sa putas ng karayo. So, we're just waiting for that. At yung aming mga plano pa po kami iba. Katulad ng tinanong kanina ni Kong Elray tungkol sa mga carpooling. Lahat po yan meron. Pero matatandaan naman natin, di ba, I think that was last year, inintroduce lang namin yung carpooling, may resolution coming from the Senate to stop na pinapahinto kami without even trying it. So, yun po yung mga plano namin.
I believe Attorney Delgado, sir.
Yes. We reiterate the statement of MMDA that we respect the TRO issued by the RTC, but nevertheless, we're still focused on the preparation such that when the time comes that the TRO will be lifted, all systems go insofar as this plan is concerned. We have to understand that part of the traffic congestion problem, as well as having to rationalize public transport, is really to limit the number of bus terminals. It has been there for quite some time. These are privately owned, privately managed, and we're counting about 97 terminals that has been counted by MMDA. I don't know how much more terminals on Metro Manila that has been operating, and yet they're there. But we need to rationalize this from 100 or so terminals to only about 4 or 5 integrated intermodal terminal exchanges where the city buses would meet with the provincial buses and all other modes of public transport when the commuters would converge in these terminals.
Attorney, Madam Chair, I hope you don't mind. Just a follow-up question to Yusek De Leon. Yusek, if by some stroke of luck, I convince my colleagues during the budget hearing na dagdagan yung budget ng DOTR for this purpose, can you implement it? Kasi sayang naman po, magsaslash po ako sa ibang department, agency, para may dagdag yun sa inyo. Kaya nyo bang patayuin ang elevated walkways na ito?
Mr. Chair, yung elevated walkways natin, it does not require very complicated designs. Madali lang gawin yan. So, mas madaling gawin yan. Compared to very complicated structures, kayang gawin in less than 2 years.
So talaga, commitment yan ha. May mga right-of-way issues pa ba kayo dyan? Hindi na yata, no?
Usually, Mr. Chair, yung mga utilities lang naman na kailangan i-relocate. So yun lang po yung concerns natin for greenways.
Sige, you have our commitment and support. I will push for this, but please, your commitment is on the record. Kasi maganda nga ito elevated. Maybe we don't have to start with all the metropolis. I mean, we can come up with a 1 billion fund. No, maybe you can work on EDSA muna. Maybe Makati towards Ortigas. Or the other side, or the other way. Para sa ganun ay magamit ng tao na lalo yung pinaka-busy na routes. I think Makati kasi Central Business District yan at Ortigas. And if there's an interconnection between the two, yan po muna siguro umpisahan natin. I have your commitments, Yusek, ha? And I'm sure the Secretary will agree. So hanapan natin ng what you call institutional funding, institutional amendments. All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, Yusek Delio, ilan po ang binabalak na intermodal terminals o itong mga bus terminals?
Currently, we only have yung 3 na permanent. Yan po yung PITX, yan po yung FTI, which is Taguig City. And then yung pangatlo po yung nandun sa Bukawi, Bulacan.
So, 4 ang pinaplanong intermodal central bus terminal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Meron na bang pag-aaral ito kung gaano karami o gaano laki ang maibabawas sa traffic dito sa EDSA and buong Metro Manila? Because what we're doing right now is we're limiting in provincial bus terminals to come in. So ang basic question ko, bilang isang motorista at sa mga commuters natin, gaano bibilis ang traffic sa Metro Manila at sa EDSA? Kasi hindi naman natin ginagawa itong projects for the sake of projects, no? Hindi naman ito ginagawa natin para, sabi nga ni Chairman, malimitahan yung number of bus terminals. But ginagawa natin ito to ease the traffic. But meron ba tayong simulation kung gaano mag-i-improve ang traffic natin dito sa Metro Manila?
Mr. Chair, yung ating pag-aaral dates back 2012 pa. So including may mga pag-aaral din yung JICA. JICA itself prepared the transport roadmap. Also specified na magkaroon tayo dapat nito mga intermodal terminals. With regards to specifics kung ilan yung impact niya, I'll defer to GM Jojo anong impact niya sa traffic.
Okay, sir. Yung sa provincial buses here, just what I said kanina, kung 50% kagad ang mawawala sa yellow lane, definitely, madedecongest yung yellow lane natin, bibilis ang biyahe ng city bus. No, that's number one. Kaya lang sabi nga namin, in papers, in documents, the way I say it, ang ganda. The only thing na talaga makita natin, if it's working, kailangan natin i-drive talaga. No? Pero in principle, I said, no, 6,500 ang dumadaan sa yellow lane. I-exclusive natin no, ito yung mga buses. Just imagine kung half of those mawawala sa yellow lane. Decongested kagad siya. Bibilis mo ang biyahe ng mga commuters.
Sa akin, you said very basic, no? From Valenzuela to Makati, from, memorize ko na nga ho ito, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. will take me 2 hours ng gabi. 2 hours sa hapon mo yan, kasi rush hour yan, for sure. Ngayon, with these 4 terminals that you are planning to put up, gaano kabilis na magiging biyahe ko from Makati to Valenzuela?
Okay. When it comes to private, no, sir, may scheme din tayo sa private. Yun nga yung sinabi ko na carpool. If you can give me some more time, I can elaborate on that one. Ano? Pero sa ngayon nga, ang binigyan namin ng pansin, yung mga commuters muna, yung sa yellow lane. Iisa-isayin natin yan. Yung pagdating mo sa private, tama po yung data kanina, no? 380,000 average dumadaan sa EDSA. Mga 66% yan private cars. So mga 245 to 50,000. 70% yan mag-isa. So 175,000. Sabi ko nga, mag-carpool tayo 2 or more lang, no? Kalahati lang ang mag-complain yan, 85,000 kagad ang mawawala. No? And we're just asking 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. That's 6 to 9 and 5 to 8. Ngayon, ang naging kontra dyan, challenges, sabi, ililipat lang natin yung traffic sa iba, sa C5. Yeah, it's true, no? Kaya lang, ito yung incentive mo. If you're gonna do carpool, then pwede ka dumaan sa EDSA during those hours, no? Ito, sir, as economics, makakatipid tayo sa gasolina. Makakatipid tayo sa maintenance. Then, ang pinaka-importante, mabawasan ng pollution natin kasi mabawas, no? So, ngayon, yan talaga yung realidad, eh, no? Yung sinabi kanina na uneven scheme color coding, ano yan eh, hindi yung effective yan eh. Sabi ko nga, gusto lang magpapogi ni Chairman, bukas mag-uneven tayo, 50% mawawala. Kaya wawa naman yung papalit sa amin 3 years from now, 5 years from now, times 10 na yung kotse, walang garahe na. So kailangan eliminate natin, hindi yung kotse mismo, yung nakasakay, para kahit 10 ang kotse mo, pag isa ka lang, hindi mo pwede gamitin. No?
But Yusek, very basic lang, with these 4 terminals, gaano kabilis ang magiging biyahe ko from Valenzuela to Makati and vice versa? It's very basic lang. I just want to know kung nag-simulate tayo dahil all of this naman we're doing because we want to ease traffic.
Yes.
And I assume may simulation tayong ginawa.
Yes, sir. Sabi ko nga sa computer, mabilis. Mababawasan ka mga 20-30% ng travel time. No?
So from 2 hours, mababawasan siya ng 30 minutes?
Ito ang target care natin, sir. Pag napaluwag namin yung yellow lane, we're hoping na yung mga nagdadala ng kotse, no, magbubus na lang kasi mas mabilis ang biyahe nila. Kasi nga, decongested ng yellow lane. Mababawasan ng kotse. Pero hanggang hindi tayo gumagawa ng scheme for private cars, 1,000 a day ang nadadagdag every day. Ang capacity po ng EDSA natin, 6,000 lang per hour. No? Ito yung bumper to bumper. Gusto mong tumakbo yan, 4,500. Ano yung mga scheme na hindi namin? Number 1. Madami lang magagalit, no?
Yusek, naputo lang kita, no? Because mayroon pag ibang magtatanong. But on the next, may next hearing tayo, I want to see that simulation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because we want to also explain sa mga kababayan natin na itong ginagawa natin, bibilisin traffic. But we need to also simulate it and
Yes, sir.
tingnan natin kung gaano kabilis yung traffic after nitong itong terminals na tatayo natin. Because at the end of the day, yun ang gusto natin ipakita na maayos ang daloy ng traffic.
Okay, sir, may isa kang kami suggestion, no? If you may, no? Kung matatandaan nyo, every Christmas, ina-adjust namin yung mall hours. From 10 a.m., nakikiusap kami gawing 11 a.m. Kala nila, para sa yung isang oras, no? Para sa isang oras. Malaking bagay po yan. Why? We have 17 malls. No? Imbis na umalis ng 8 o'clock yan or 7, umaalis yan 9 or 10 na kasi 11 na yung bukas. Eh. No? Kailangan natin i-schedule. Ang sarado ng mall, kahit anong oras, mas late, mas mamoros namin. Para hindi kasabay ng paglabas ng opisina. Kaya lang, talaga mahirap gawin. Pasko lang namin yan napapatupad dahil nakikiusap kami sa mga malls.
Next hearing, Madam Chair, is request ko to show us the simulation. No? We have to understand that we're not doing this because we want to do it. So we're doing it because there's a positive effect to it. No? So yun ang gusto namin maintindihan.
Yes, sir.
Actually, bago tayo magpatuloy, no, bigyan natin yung ibang sektor ng pagkakataon na mag-ambag rin ang kanilang pag-aaral o ideya tungkol dito, yung UP at saka yung out mobility. So yung out muna, kasi tinulungan niyo yung staff namin na maintindihan din yung sige, go ahead.
Madam Chair, first, thank you for the opportunity in inviting we're part of the commuters sector. So we're a transport advocacy group called Advocacy. For us, first, I think we're actually focusing too much on vehicle travel time, which is, I think, just one half or one side of the picture. Probably, we should also, as a primary concern, we should look at the commuter experience. Kasi hindi lang po traffic actually ang tinitignan natin. Pag traffic lang po, baka maging short-term or short-sighted yung ating mga magiging palisiya. Dahil po, ang totoong commuter, which is a majority of our people, will have additional pamasahe, waiting time. Kung tatlo yung magiging transfers niya, kasama po yun. At kailangan po niya maglakad. Kailangan niyo pong sumakay ulit. So kung travel time lang po ang titignan, siguro po, para po sa mga dekotse, yun po yung tinitignan lang po nila. Pero tanungin po natin, siguro po, pababain travel time, let's say by 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Pero po, for the commuter, yung titignan lang natin is travel time, nakahun tayo doon, limitado na po yung tinitignan natin. Pero tanungin po natin yung mga commuters na dinaranas yung mga polisiya na ginagawa po natin, ano po yung masasabi po nila? Matutuwa po ba sila sa mga policies na ini-implement natin na maaari, kasi may mga kilala po ako at ako rin po ay commuter, nagsasabi na either tumaas ng isang oras yung travel time dahil po sa mga bagong palisiya po na ito. At naging malaki po yung focus po natin sa mga bus, kahit po sinabi na nga po na 380,000 po ang dumadaan ngayon sa EDSA, pero 6,500 lang ang sa bus, pero yun pa rin po yung ating pinagpo-focusan. Actually, sa C5, wala naman po masyadong bus dyan, walang bus terminal, pero halos kasing traffic din. Actually, minsan, mas traffic pa sa C5. So, tingin ko po, kung tatanggalin po natin yung mga bus sa EDSA or may mga bus terminal, kakainin lang po ito ng growth nga po na sinasabi nyo, ng pagdami po ng bumibili ng private car. So, ngayon, in the short term, maybe in the less than 1 year, magkakaroon po tayo ng ginhawa dahil may natanggal tayong mga vehicles. Pero papalitan po yan lahat ng mga bagong sasakyan kung hindi po natin kukontrolin or i-manage yung pagdami po nila. Ngayon po, kaya po namin sinasabi na mas long-term sana is yung i-prioritize natin sa ating mga metrics instead of vehicle travel time is the commuting experience. Bakit po? Dahil po, pag na-entice po natin ang mas maraming tao na mag-commute dahil mas mabilis, mas komportable, mas maganda yung experience nila, mas konti po yung taong gustong magdala ng sasakyan. And that would be a more effective way, we believe, to reduce traffic congestion and improve overall commuting experience for everyone. As a long-term vision, that's what we think. So as a transport economist po ako, specifically working on transport-related issues, we see that yung public transportation, walking and cycling, as mentioned po by Senator Zubiri, are all more space efficient, more sustainable, and more inclusive transportation modes that we should be prioritizing. Now, if we are focused mainly again on vehicle travel time, okay, mababawasan po natin ngayon, pero in the long term, hahabol ulit ang mga bagong purchase. So, halimbawa sa ibang bansa po, ang ginagawa po nila, pinaparami po nila yung, pinapaganda po nila yung kanilang commuting experience, whether rail or road-based transportation, na to the point na pati po yung kanilang mga public officials or yung mga even CEOs ay okay lang sumakay ng public transportation. So hopefully, ganun po sana natin, parang shift natin ng konti ang ating efforts, wag tayo masyadong focus po sa merely vehicle travel time. So as a note po, yung sa proposal po namin in the Senate and also in Congress, nagpo-propose po kami na nag-file po kami ng bill in coordination with Senator Grace po and also with Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Nag-file po kami ng Magna Carta for Dignified Commuting, sort of a commuter bill of rights, which, okay, kung pagbibigyan niyo po akong basahin, some of the key provisions that we have is first, a maximum wait of 10 minutes of public transportation stops and terminals, and having a travel time of maximum 1 hour on public transport from end to end, let's say, of EDSA, which is around more than 15 kilometers, and other more long-term solutions. So for us, if we really want a more sustainable solution, we should focus on commuter experience. And that way, we will be able to shift our mindset and be a more sustainable and inclusive mobility nga po.
Thank you for mentioning the most vital part of this hearing is the welfare of the commuters, and hindi lang naman sila statistics, di ba? On the other hand, ipaalala din natin sa ating mga nandito na actually 80% ng ating mga kababayan walang sariling sasakyan. 80%. Doon sa Mega Manila, 80% po ang walang may sariling sasakyan at nagpo-commute. Yung ilang porsyento na natitira, yun yung datos na nakuha natin, sila yung maraming sasakyan. Diba? So, UP muna bago si Mr. Yage ulit.
Yes. Good afternoon. Dr. Grace Hammond had to leave, so I'll be reading her statement. No? I'm Toik Serna. I'm with Move Metro Manila. Dr. Grace Hammond is our convener. Move Metro Manila is an informal coalition of mobility advocates in Metro Manila. It organizes consultations and dialogues with transportation experts, stakeholders, and policymakers to contribute to the discourse on and in improvement of mobility in Metro Manila. Ako rin po ay kasama sa isang online group of commuters called Commute. Ilang beses na po kami nakapag-attend ng consultation ng MMDA at LTFRB on the issue of provincial bus ban. And we've expressed in many occasions yung aming disagreement dito. No? So ibalik lang po natin ulit yung focus sa commuters. Move Metro Manila advocates for people mobility. We urge government to look beyond vehicles and prioritize moving people. Comparing the number of cars with the buses, the road space they occupy, and the number of passengers they carry, we note that buses are 10 times more efficient in moving people than cars. Buses are not the problem. They carry the workers, the lifeblood of Metro Manila's economy. This blatant bias against the poor, those who rely on the public transport because frankly they have no choice, will only hurt the metropolis economy. Ajay Castani said already, nabanggit na yung economic cost, no, of traffic congestion daily, 3.5 billion pesos. Squeezing the bus users, who comprise half of EDSA users, can only hurt the economy more. The Mobility Coalition conducted an online survey among Metro Manila commuters from August 5 to 9. So isang linggo lang po ito. 21% of the respondents are provincial commuters. They come in the metropolis from Bulacan, Pampanga, Laguna, and Cavite. These commuters have to travel around 3 hours each way and have to make at least 3 transfers to reach their destinations. As it is, commuting is already difficult for them. The provincial bus ban will certainly make things worse. In light of all of these, Move Metro Manila recommends, number 1, that government focus its efforts on and allocate more resources for the improvement of public transportation to discourage daily car use to work. Every 3 cars off the road creates road space for 1 bus that can accommodate 45 passengers. Number 2, that government address the supply gap in public transportation instead of effectively reducing public transport supply with measures like the provincial bus ban. The average waiting time for commuters, according to our online survey, is 25 minutes. For provincial commuters, the average waiting time is 20 minutes. These are indicative of the low supply of public transportation and of the bad practice in industry, where service and deployment of public transport is dependent on turnaround time. We expect that if the supply gap is addressed, magiging reliable na po kahit papano yung ating public transport, some car users will shift to public transport use. Number 3, that MMDA lift number coding of public utility vehicles as a strategy to immediately increase public transport supply. And finally, that MMDA allocate more road space in EDSA to public utility vehicles or make EDSA exclusively for high occupancy vehicles. So, yung mapaluwag po ang yellow lane, maganda, paramihin natin yung yellow lane. And yung sinasabi siguro na magtiis-tiis muna, baka magtiis muna yung ating mga single occupant vehicles and antayin yung skyway for that, no? So baka pwedeng i-shift po natin yung attention sa commuters. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Mr. Yage.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I will be requesting our lawyer, Attorney Aguilar, to explain the issue about the writ of preliminary injunction, which was from the court, Quezon City Regional Trial Court. Attorney Aguilar.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair. Alam mo, beses po nabanggit yung preliminary injunction. So, I just want to clarify its scope po, ma'am. So, the writ of preliminary injunction was issued by the Regional Trial Court of Quezon City in connection with a case filed by the nagkakaisang samahan ng nangangasiwa ng palalawigang bus sa Pilipinas Incorporated po. To enjoin the implementation of two issuances, Madam Chair. The LTFRB Memorandum Circular number 2019-001, which directed the modification of endpoint of provincial buses to end at the integrated terminals and prohibiting the provincial buses from passing through EDSA, as well as the MMDA Regulation number 19002, which revoked or prohibited the issuance of business permits on bus terminals along EDSA. The trial court issued a preliminary injunction on two grounds. First, for violation of the right to due process of the complainants, as the issuances were issued without prior consultation and without.
Are you sure there was no prior consultation? Is that true?
I don't know the definition of consultation, but for 2 years, nung dumating kami dyan, we have a meeting with the stakeholders, operators, may meetings kami, with the city operators also, yung commuters, nagkaroon rin po kami, and LTFRB DOTR is always with us.
And I know that's also always openly discussed.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Still on due process, Madam Chair. The court also found that the means adopted by the MMDA and LTFRB to solve the traffic in EDSA is unreasonable. It appears there's no supporting study or prior in-depth study to support this issuances, Your Honor. And finally, Your Honor, Madam Chair, the court also found that the issuances will violate the Equal Protection Clause since there's no substantial distinction between the provincial bus terminals and provincial buses and city buses that is germane to the purpose of the law, which is to decongest traffic in EDSA. And lastly, we'd like to correct the notion that the injunction was issued without giving MMDA and LTFRB the opportunity to present evidence. As stated in page 3 of the order, the public defendants have yet to file their respective answer and likewise failed to present evidence, notwithstanding having been given opportunity to do so in several scheduled hearings.
We heard the court's view on why they granted the TRO. Maybe you can comply with those.
MR, ma'am.
Okay.
Meron naman.
Memo, isa pang tanong dito, ilan ba talagang city buses natin na pinapayagan? LTFRB, ilang libo?
We're looking at about 3,500, more or less.
About the provincial buses, how many?
The provincial buses would be there are about 3,500 also. As mentioned, there are about 6,000 to close to 6,500 overall, as mentioned by MMDA earlier.
So nagdagdag ba kayo ng pagbibigay ng mga prangkisa gaya nga dito sa mga temporary terminals na nilagay ninyo?
So far as franchises are concerned, we will be opening up additional franchises, but not additional units, because we will only be utilizing the existing units of either of the provincial buses or of the city buses, because this is part of the rationalization of their routes. It's actually in the MC, Your Honor.
Okay. I have a question also, no? What's the difference between a P2P bus, which you're planning to add how many more P2P buses?
So far as when we open up the interim integrated terminals in Santa Rosa and Valenzuela, we're looking at the other three integrated transport terminal. I'm referring to PTEX, the one in Araneta, and the one in Marikina. And having said that, we are to put up additional P2P routes, but not, I like to make this clear, but not additional buses, but additional P2P routes to serve these 5 terminals.
Okay, so just to be clear, sir, because we've had a lot of phone-in questions, that it defeats the purpose of having to issue more franchises for more additional buses if we're going to prevent provincial buses from coming in. So walang bagong mga P2P na sasakyan. Yun
No
lang.
additional units po.
No
Because
units.
the whole issue here, and I would like to take up what was said earlier, no? We fully agree that everything that we're discussing here, I think we all understand that it's about commuting experience. And having said that, that has always been in the mind of the policymakers, the transport planners in government, and I'm sure we're all in one view on this one. We would like to disabuse the mind that we're not after buses, we're after 100 privately managed, privately owned provincial bus terminals all across Metro Manila, starting off with EDSA. The buses would still be there, and that's precisely why we're trying to rationalize these things for a much better commuting experience. I'm sure there are a lot of perspective on how we're going to address improving commuting experience, and certainly this type of dialogue, this type of hearing would invite our attention, no? Whichever way, no? From them or from us to them, so that we'll be able to understand each other. But rest assured, the objective of government is precisely not only to address traffic congestion, but also to improve the commuting experience of our commuters in
Actually,
Metro Manila.
Attorney Delgra, Chairman Delgra, ganito, no? Isa sa pwede natin tignan, aside from the time na pwede pumasok yung provincial buses, baka hindi lang yun eh, baka pwede silang payagan most of the time, kaya lang siguro yung mga terminals nila within EDSA or within the area, yun ang pwedeng alisin para kung may-utilize na yung FTI, may-utilize na yung sa Araneta, doon na lang pupunta, imbis na sa kanya-kanyang terminal. Kasi nga, isa yun talaga sa naiisip, no? Pag lumalabas, di ba? 4 minutes. Eh, alam naman natin ang 4 minutes kung gaano karaming backup. So, para po sa ating mga pasahero, merong pupuntahan na isang maayos na terminal malapit sa lugar nila. Kung sa Cubao yan, eh di sa Araneta. Kung sa may bandang north, nandun din. Alam ko meron din dapat pinaplano dun sa may area ng sa north, di ba? Yung mga Ayala, SM, mga North EDSA, wala ba doon?
Puro city bus yun. Yung tuwada sa Mega Mall sa north, yung may mga base sila, puro city bus yun.
Pero that's why, what we can consider is actually putting provincial
Yes.
bus terminals within the areas in EDSA instead of retail. Para doon na lang pupunta yung mga pasahero, di ba? Tapos ipasara yung iba dito.
Okay. Ako na? Okay. Ma'am, yung sa amin nga na interim, no? Yun nga yung sinabi ko, kaya namin sinumulan, kasi nga matagal pa yung permanent eh. So, pero yun talaga ang target eh. Kaya tayo naglalagay ng yung mga terminals yan, dapat nakakonect yan sa bawat isa. Kaya may mga P2P tayo, para at least yung mga may maleta ka, you know. Yung, I just want to, yung sinabi niya kanina regarding sa additional time. Right now, this situation right now, yung traffic, from Santa Rosa to Cubao, siguro 3 hours yan, 3.5. Yung situation right now, traffic. Pag dinecongest natin yung yellow lane na yan, baka ang biyahe from Santa Rosa to Araneta is less than 2 hours. So kahit 30 minutes ka mag-waiting area, maglipat ka transfer, which naka-aircon ka, may mga pushcart ka, no? Mako-compensate nung speed pag na-decongest natin ang yellow lane. Ngayon, laging sinasabi yung inconvenience, eh, no? Pero paano naging inconvenience yung sitwasyon right now na nakita naman natin, yung harap ng terminal, nakaupo sila sa karton, nakaupo sa bag, naghihintay ng sasakyan. Kasi, lagi kong sinasabi, ma'am, na yung terminal, hindi yan ang final destination eh. Lilipat pa yan eh. Ngayon, yung harap ng terminal, it's a no loading and unloading zone yan. Naabuso lang dati. Kaya sila nahihirapan ngayon. Kasi dati rin, naabuso yung prangkisa nila. Pwede sila bumaba, sumakay along EDSA, which bawal. Nung pinatupad lang namin enforcement na diretso kayo sa terminal, paglabas ng terminal, may bitbit yan isang sakong gulay, let's say. Hindi ka na pwede sumakay sa harap. You need to walk 100 meters para sa loading and unloading phase.
Okay, Alex, Mr. Yage, kung magkakaroon halimbawa ng polisiya, kung saan yung mga provincial bus terminal sa EDSA, alisin nga, pero may mga maayos na terminal kung saan pwede sila doon kumuha ng pasahero. Ito ba ay magiging katanggap-tanggap sa inyo?
Actually po, yun po ang practice sa ibang bansa. So, nakikita na po natin, siguro kung gusto po natin maging very efficient ang transportation mo dito, connected dapat to yung local, yung national, at saka yung mga community-based transport. Lahat po dapat yan connected. So, ang mangyayari po niyan, kung susundin po natin yung universal practice po, yun po ang dapat gawin. So, ano ang dapat na po ang main requirement ng isang terminal? Dapat po, connectivity. So, dapat connected, kunyari, national yung biyahe, interregion, galing mo sa Visayas, galing sa Mindanao. Pagdating mo sa Manila, pwede siyang sumakay ng train, pwede siyang sumakay ng MRT, pwede siyang sumakay ng jeep, o sumakay ng UV Express, o whatever, makakarating doon sa kanyang pupuntahan. So, ang mangyayari po niyan, nung pinag-aralan po yung PITX, yung PITX po kasi, ang unang talagang connectivity niyan, yung LRT. Ang unfortunate nyo, nag-umpisa yung PITX, walang connection. So pagdating ho ng sasakyan doon sa PITX, wala kang sasakyan. Hindi kayo mahihirapan. So kung tama po yung sabi nyo, kung gusto ho natin i-rationalize ho yan, hindi ho pwede yung temporary. Yung, pag temporary ho kasi, lalo lang natin pahirapan po yung mananakay. Kawawa po yung mananakay. Pero kung gagawa ho tayo ng talagang integrated terminal na fully connected sa lahat po ng transport modes, yun po ang dapat natin gawin. Hindi, kailangan mo pag-aralan mo mabuti yan. Kasi kung puro temporary lang mo gagawin natin, katakot-takot to na pahirap po sa mananakayan.
Madam Chair, siguro yung Jojo, gano'ng katagal ba yung interim?
Hanggang matapos po ng deal kayo permanent na naman.
O kailan matatapos yung permanent? For example, FTI.
Yung FTI, ma'am, may partial operability lang kami in 2021. But 2021. Tapos the whole project will take another year after. Yung PITX naman, di po totoo yung kanina sinabi na walang concourse pupuntang line 1 extension. Meron po, naantay lang po natin yung private na operator to build it connected to Baclaran.
Alam mo, sa tingin ko, ganito, hindi tayo eksperto kaya nga tayo nag-uusap-usap. Kunwari hindi pa nga interconnected dahil yung train system wala. Pero pwede naman yung interconnection na iba-ibang mga modes of transportation in one. Like bus, city, UV Express, taxi. Now, government has a lot of idle lands na pwede natin siguro pag-aralan. On the other hand, tingnan mo yung nangyari dito sa Santa Rosa. In the meantime, ginamit nila yung isang mall, di ba? Baka naman, alam mo, lahat naman tayo gusto natin na kahit papano mayroong benepisyo sa atin. Siguro kung yung mga malls na sa totoo, sagakal talaga sila sa EDSA, baka naman makatulong rin na ayusin nila na maging hub sila ng sasakyan. Kasi Mega Mall has, but it's very limited. It can only accommodate certain, di ba, may capacity. Pero siguro kung papayagan rin lang natin sila magpatayo doon, laki-lakihan na nila, then the government doesn't have to spend, but they will welcome those transportation stops. Mr. Sanon?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like you to know that across all our malls, we have terminals because this is precisely a public service we want to give our tenants, customers, and the public in general. In fact, in the case of Santa Rosa, whether or not there is a provincial bus ban, the terminal has been existing and it's part of our expansion program po talaga. And nung hiningan po kami ng tulong, sumang-ayon po kami kasi alam namin makakatulong. Kasi most of our development there is open area. So it will help to build here.
Madam Chair, siguro can we just get an update from EITX? Kung ano na yung, because I remember it, parang nung umpisa nagka-problema kasi hindi nga seamless yung travel when they open. Dumadating yung provincial bus doon, tapos wala namang dumadating na city bus or other modes of transportation. And it's been, ilang buwan na ba kayo nag-ooperate?
We've been operating for less than a year, around 7-8 months.
Maybe you can share to us.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator. Well, just to give an update on the PITEX or the Paranaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, I think the issue right now has been connectivity. And to give an update on connectivity, I just have some numbers here. When we started operations in December of 2018, only 64 provincial buses were coming to us daily. But now it's almost 500. So that's almost a tenfold increase in transportation connectivity. For city buses, it was 715, nominal increase to 740 because we wanted to ensure that all of the our kababayans coming in from the provinces, Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, would have options coming into Metro Manila. Again, it's always our aim for a better commute. That's why in the terminal you have free Wi-Fi, you have clean CRs, you have airport quality seats. Again, we designed this to be an airport-like experience. That's why all of the amenities here are world-class. Number 3, for traditional jeeps, we've actually doubled. From 172 in December, it's already 350. So wala na pong problema yung mga kababayan natin as soon as possible na manggagaling from the province going to Metro Manila. For modern jeeps, it's also doubled. From 100, it's now every day 205. This is as of June, July 2019. And lastly, for AUVs, we've also doubled from a daily traffic of just 25. It's already 56. So definitely PITEX can carry more. Under our concession agreement with the government, our target was 100,000 passengers a day. We've only been averaging around 55 to 60,000 passengers per day. So there's still a big upside from this one. As a matter of fact, PITX was built to carry 200,000 passengers per day. And this is to make sure that everyone has a good commuting experience. As a matter of fact, we admit that when we started, we were receiving a lot of flack. But now we're encouraged because a lot of those on social media now talk about it's just a matter of testing the waters, discipline, because you have to start somewhere. And again, this is a controversial issue, but again, you have to start somewhere. And we're encouraged by the positive reviews we've been getting from all the passengers. As a matter of fact, we already have automatic kiosks that dispense tickets already. Some of our passengers don't have to go through the lines, especially the seniors and sa PWDs. May mga automatic kiosks na po kami.
Actually, yun nga yung sinasabing birthing pains, di ba? Pag merong bago, hindi pa natin nakakasanayan, talagang we're averse to it. Ayaw natin. Pero kung makita katulad yan, kaya nga umpisa pa lang medyo kumpiyansa ako na merong namumuhunan na ayusin. In fact, we should commend nga the concessionaires for PITX, the ones that really took a risk immediately and delivered on time, unlike the others. In fact, if you see their Mactan Cebu Airport, yan talagang gold standard ng mga airport ngayon sa ating bansa. So I have no doubt that there's also some sort of patriotism on their part to be able to contribute to the well-being of our passengers. I just hope that ang nakikita kasi natin dito, totoong dami talagang terminals din sa EDSA. Pero kasi, it's convenient for our passengers. So, maybe we can partner up with the private sector also, as they're already doing, para doon na mag-ano. Pero yung mga ibang sasakyan ng mga bus, ng mga provincial buses, baka pwede sa labas na ng Metro Manila pagka maintenance or ano, di ba, Mr. Yage? Pero yung immediate ones, payagan dito sa mga interim or even permanent, pero FTI has to deliver, pati na rin yung mga, huwag naman masyadong mataas, ang singil ninyo dun sa mga nagpaparada na mga bus. So, Ira, before we...
Mag-add lang po kami din sa provincial bus terminals. We think that for the interim, it's difficult to shift them agad kung hindi pa ready yung interim terminals. We visited some of them and hindi pa maganda yung itsura niya, unlike siguro yung PITX. If we shift maybe all the south to PITX, it's good enough kasi they have world class. But for ano,
At saka malayo kasi.
Mas
Diba,
malayo yung iba. And-
So kung meron din sa Santa Rosa, which because there's a bulk of our population living in that area, that will help. That will service that particular constituency. But we also need here, within Metro Manila, na talagang mapupunta na hindi malayo.
Madam Chair, pwede ba matanong si SM Prime, hindi ba kaya ng North EDSA niyo mag-accommodate ng provincial buses?
Masyado pong maliit ang North EDSA, yung area namin doon. In fact, generally ho, across our malls, we give up to 1.2 hectares na po. Generally, para lang dito, instead of us using it as leasable space, we make sure to give up areas for this particular public service. But I doubt po kung kasya ng North EDSA.
Okay, magsasara na po tayo ngayon, ano? Okay. Ms. LV, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. First of all, most of these issues that we are discussing right now have been discussed for so long. Number one, I think that was in 2017 when we had the Emergency Traffic Summit, and our main speaker was the head of JICA in the country. There is a long dream plan from 2010 to 2030, and it was decided by DPWH, the OTR, and NEDA and JICA. There is a presentation. I will be giving the committee the copy, which I have right now. But the other thing I wanted to point out, just this one thing. Everything that we're talking about seems to be bits and pieces. Now, what we need is a holistic approach to this. Everything that I heard today are only concentrating on the land. We are forgetting that information technology has been invented for a long time. There is what we call now a holistic approach to travel using the intelligent transit system. And I informed USEC De Leon last year, the same time as now, August last year, there was a fund that ADB offered to come up with a study, a proof of concept fund for this intelligent traffic system. However, until now, there is no letter from the OTR requesting the release of that fund. And it should have been very helpful. And it would,
Intelligent traffic system, like coordinated sequencing ng traffic lights,
yes,
mga
ma'am.
ganon.
No, it starts from dispatching where there is a central system which is MMDA. There should be a cyber control center already where they can even read from their monitors what are the GPS numbers and the plate numbers of all the vehicles in Metro Manila. They do not need to be on the ground to accost them because there are sensors that will stop the vehicles if they are not in the proper ABC. And all this can be arranged and it can be organized through that intelligent traffic system.
And this is a project proposed by the ADB?
There is a proof of concept fund that ADB had offered already.
How much is that?
They
Is this a
offered,
loan or a grant?
no, it's a grant, $2 million. So what I'm
Are you
saying now
familiar
is,
with that, Yusef De Leon?
yes, in fact, I made a draft of letter to be signed by him.
Okay, Yusef.
Yes, we know about that grant. It's an unsolicited proposal by a private proponent. Parang dinidirekta sa ADB para i-fund ni ADB. But MMDA, for the information of everyone, has already this ongoing master planning study of ITS. It's being funded naman by JICA. It's a comprehensive study already. So hindi na kailangan nung ADB funded na master plan na yan.
Okay, we have to...
Madam Chair, since nabanggit na meron na kayo ongoing study, kailan mo matatapos to, Yusek Garcia? ITS?
Okay. Ma'am, nasa ano pala kami ngayon eh. Yung sa phase 2, no, meron pa. Wala na yung mga tao. Well, succeeding years, meron kaming project sa ITS. Hindi lang ito yung tungkol sa OVR, pati yung sa no contact apprehension, kompleto na rin. Ano. Kasi talaga target namin ngayon, ma'am, wala nang enforcer sa ground. Puro camera na lang, no? Kasi dyan sisimula ang photo, ang away, etc. No? So, ongoing naman. Ongoing. Hindi ko lang, wala lang sa akin ngayon, sa data ko, kung ilang years, pero nagsisimula na po kami. This year lang, I have additional 200 cameras. This year lang.
Okay, yung sa Garcia, paalala lang sa mga enforcers ng MMDA, pati na rin sa ating mga HPG, pag meron silang ina-apprehend, o kunyari may minor na aksidente, itabi na kaagad. Huwag nang, di ba?
Ma'am, yun ang problema nga namin kasi sa insurance. Actually, sinabi ko na sa house yan. Pagka nagkabanggaan kasi, ayaw nila tanggalin. Kasi karamihan, walang comprehensive insurance. Sabi ko nga, yung binabayaran natin insurance na TPL, baliwala yun sa LTO. Sabi ko nga, dapat bago riso may insurance sa comprehensive para pagka nagkabangga, walang sisihan, pwede nang itabi. Ang problema ngayon, kailangan may pulis We're not authorized to investigate. Kailangan may pulis lagi. So yung pulis, hahanapin pa namin yung nearest station. Hindi naman pwede maglagay ng pulis anywhere ng investigador. Kaya po talaga natatagalan.
Nako, malaking problema yan.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, dapat pwedeng una na lang ng litrato
Yes,
should
ma'am.
be enough evidence. In fact, we can probably meet with insurers.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Diba? Like,
Yes, ma'am.
with particular angles, na if kung required na ganito, ganyan, diba? Sabihan yung
Kailangan talaga na-
policy holders. I'm sorry, I wish we had more time, but we need to arrange for our plenary. Before we officially close the other agenda for today's hearing, is Senate Bill number 125, or an act establishing the National Transportation Safety Board. In the 17th Congress, there were several bills filed, and the committee came up with Committee Report number 218, which was approved. However, due to lack of time, it was not passed in plenary. Transportation safety is an important issue that has long languished as a second priority. The recent Iloilo-Guimaras train tragedy involving the capsizing of 3 motorized bandas raised questions which need answers if we are to give justice to the victims and families. I would like to manifest that the said committee report and other records be adopted, and for part of the committee report that this committee will submit. Ngayon, for the MMDA and the DOTR, please consider the immediate implementation of the 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Partial bus ban. Ito ba yung, I'm not saying that we do it, but this is something that we need to think about as the transport officials nodded to Congressman Villafuerte's proposal.
If I may, it's actually in the MC already, recognizing the request of those from Bicol for the window hour.
Okay, in the next hearing, we expect the heads of the concerned government agencies, primarily the DOTR, MMDA, and DPWH, secretaries and chairman, to attend and bring us the transport master plan for both short, medium, and long term. Otherwise, we will assume that this country does not have a transport master plan, and we have all been going blindly into this. On the part of this committee, we will review the traffic management powers of the MMDA to see if they really have the power to implement policies such as this, and if they do, if these are valid exercises of their power. We might also have to consider giving them an expanded power base to include the Mega Manila areas. Maybe we can also come up with a technical working group between all concerned government agencies and stakeholders, transport sectors, commuter experts, etc. For the MMDA, please submit to the committee the simulation of their proposal for traffic decongestion. Kung talagang may napag-aralan na kayo tungkol dito. May mga bagay-bagay na maaaring makatulong maigsa ng traffic, hindi lamang sa pagbaban ng mga provincial buses. Number 1, yung FTI station, dapat kailan ba yan matatapos? So, tatanungin natin ang DPWH at tanungin na rin natin ang DOTR sa susunod. Ang LRT1 extension papunta sa Cavite. Ang NLEX, SLEX, di umano ay matatapos sa pagtatapos ng taon or first quarter ng next year. Ang elevated walkway, hinihinga ninyo ng additional funding. Ito'y pag-uusapan natin sa budget. At ang pagbibigay ng oras para sa provincial buses at possible partnership with the private sector within Metro Manila, not mega Metro Manila, not mega Manila, but within Metro Manila para mabilis ang pagpabiyahe din ng ating mga kababayan na hindi sila mahihirapan na tanggalin ang mga bus terminals dito sa EDSA. So, with that, I'm sorry to say that we will need another hearing for this. Hindi naman, sino ba naman ang gusto ng hearing, pero kung marami nag-a-absent, natural, kailangan na naman mag-hearing. Hindi lang po ito aksaya sa oras ng ating mga kababayan, aksaya din ito sa oras ninyo na papabalikin ko na naman. So with that, this hearing is suspended.